So I'm fully aware that it is not in fact the middle of the year, and it is in fact in the last like quarter of the year. But since the first kind of half of the year was a weird time because A-levels, like extremely busy, not doing anything other than revising basically, I don't know, it just feels weird. The pace of this year has been odd because I haven't done anything for the last 2 months after doing ridiculous amounts of work for the first half of the year. So I'm gonna do the, what's it called? The mid-year book tag? Mid-year book freakout? That's what we're doing. The mid-year book freakout. The first question is, best book you've read so far in 2017? I haven't read that many books this year. I've only read about 18 or something like that. I'd probably have to say The Name of the Wind, even though it wasn't my favourite book ever, but I did really enjoy it. The next question is, best sequel you've read so far this year? Probably Wind Witch. It's also probably the only sequel I've read this year, but I did really enjoy that because that is a sequel to Truth Witch by Susan Dennard. Definitely would recommend. High fantasy vibe. If you like Game of Thrones, if you like Name of the Wind, if you like Six of Crows. Next we have new release you haven't read yet but want to. Probably either Lord of Shadows or Tower of Dawn. Tower of Dawn only came out like, not even a week ago, like last week. Whereas Lord of Shadows came out months ago. But I'm pretty sure it came out in like May, and that's like a month before A-level starts, so I couldn't read it. But I do think I want to read it. Perhaps. But also potentially Tower of Dawn, because I have mixed feelings about Sarah J Maas, but I also have to read all of her books. Most anticipated release of this later half of the year. Don't really have one. I'm also not on top of like any Rick Riordan releases because this used to be like prime time, Heroes of Olympus release time. But not this year. So I don't really have one. The only one that I know that I'm looking forward to next year is Circe by Madeline Miller, because she wrote The Song of Achilles and I love that. And now she's writing this book about Circe and I'm like... I found out I was so excited. I was surprised by how excited I was, but I was very excited. Excited. For those who don't know, Circe is the witch in the Odyssey who Odysseus has a bit of a thing with, and she's a bit scary but also really cool, independent sea witch woman. How can you not be excited by that? I'm so excited. Ooh, biggest disappointment. Oh, I should say. So Circe comes out in like April next year, so near my 19th birthday. How weird is that I will turn 19 on my next birthday? Biggest disappointment would probably be either The Thief by Megan Whalen Turner, because this is literally like 250 pages long and we spent the first like 70 pages just going from inn to inn. And not even having any discussions or anything other than moving from inn to inn. I haven't finished it yet, but because it's even so short, that's why I want to finish it, but trying my patience. I should probably just DNF, but I don't really like DNFing because money, yeah. I actually did have quite high hopes for The Star-Charged Queen by Roshani Chokshi, but didn't really do very much for me, unfortunately. But I did like it. Like, it was weird because I kind of wanted, like, I just wanted it to be a bit more developed and cohesive and understandable, because it was kind of like, who was it? It was Sarah Without an H was talking about it as well, being like, it was kind of like happily being confused. Like, you don't really know what's going on, but it's nice. It's not like angry being confused. It's just is what it is, and it was kind of a nice ride even if you don't really know what's going on. Ooh, also, just piling on the disappointments, Court of Wings and Ruin was not that good. It had a lot wrong with it structurally, it had a lot wrong with it in terms of characters, it had really bad LGBT rep, so not really feeling it. But then again, with my expectations with Sarah J Maas are always to be a little bit disappointed, probably. Unfortunately. Favourite new author, debut or new to you? Probably Patrick Rothfuss, because The Name of the Wind was, I think, was this the year, the first year that I read Margaret Atwood. I really did like Margaret Atwood. I started reading her this year, and she was really good, and she just got to me. So probably either of them, Margaret Atwood or Patrick Rothfuss. Ooh, newest fictional crush. I'm not sure. Have I read anything this year actually with a crushable person in it? I feel like I can step on them. Clearly my reading has been lacking. It's not really new to me, but like Aeduan a bit in Truth Witch, because he's low-key evil and complicated and morally grey, and it just gets to me on a level. Ooh, newest favourite character. Again, not really sure I have one. It probably would have to be from somebody from Truth Witch, because I'm not really loving anyone new this year. I'm reading, where is it? I started reading My Cousin Rachel last night. Really enjoying that. So potentially maybe Rachel. She seems to be along the vibe of Rebecca, which is by the same author, but like the characters, I'm feeling them together. But I read Rebecca last year, so I can't say that. Books that made you cry. Wow, I really haven't read enough books to do this tag. Did I write any books? Maybe not. Ooh, a book that made you happy. That's nice. Did I have one, again, that isn't Wind Witch or The Name of the Wind? Not really. A Court of Wings and Ruin did make me happy at points, but not throughout, unfortunately. Favourite book to film adaptation? The Handmaid's Tale did a lot of things for me. It's one of those things where they haven't just copied it book to screen and not changed it for the, you know, the media. They've changed it and expanded on it, because when the book was written, it's like the dystopia is the book. This is how it would work. This is the idea. And we've already read that and we know it. It's like in school syllabuses and stuff. So what they do with the adaptation, beyond just copy out all the events and the characters and things, is they expand it. They like make it broader and they really enrich it and make it a really good program and extend everything that Margaret Atwood's talking about. And they've included things like female genital mutilation and gay rights in this world, and the way how it would work with advanced weaponry now and all these things, and it's just so good. I would so recommend watching it. It's quite intense. You need to be careful if you're worried about sexual assault, essentially, and all those things, so I would warn you if you want to watch it, but it is really good, and Margaret Atwood is in it, and I'm pretty sure she's feeling it as well. I have questionable feelings about them making a series 2, but I feel like they're pushing for a more rebellion resistance kind of vibe, whereas the book is not about that. The book is about how these women were defeated, basically, and pared down to just, like, their essential female tasks, if you know what I mean. I don't know, I've talked for a long time, but it's really good. Favourite review you've made this year? I don't think I've even reviewed any books this year, let's be honest. I've just been busy. But the favourite video I've made has probably been my... Did I make a Othello video last year or this year? It's not a review, though. You don't really review Shakespeare, so... Ooh, most beautiful book you've bought this year? I say probably My Cousin Rachel. This edition is gorgeous. I'm actually in love with it. Look at it, it's so lovely. It's probably this one. I can't think of any other ones that I'm like, that was the one. Probably this one. What books do you need to read by the end of the year? Well, excluding the books I need to read for uni, because I'm sure I do actually need to read those by the end of the year. I'd like to actually finish this. I kind of just want to work my way through TBR. I kind of want to read Tower of Dawn. I kind of want to read Game of Thrones. I had a bit of a moment the other night where it was about midnight, which is always my crunch time. And I was like, maybe I should just buy all the Game of Thrones books and challenge myself to read all of them before I go to uni. I didn't do that because it seemed ridiculous, and I've got to read books on the Tudors and medieval England beforehand, so other than that being just a crazy thing to do, you know, I do have other things to do, like learn to drive and stuff, so, you know, decided against that, unfortunately. But yeah, definitely at least My Cousin Rachel, because it's so pretty. I'm really enjoying it. I'm like 50 pages in and I was just like, oh my god, whoa, I nearly spilled tea everywhere. But you know, ooh, I was dribbling down my hand, nice. But you know what I mean, when you just, the pages are just going, and it's like 1 in the morning, and you're like, I should probably stop reading this, but you're also like, this is so good. If there's one thing that doing this tag has taught me, it is that I need to read more books. Because I haven't read that many this year. Throwback to like 2014 when I read like 75. But I also had the whole YA catalogue to catch up on, so. But anyway, thank you for watching, I hope you have a nice day, and I shall see you later. Goodbye.